Every year, thousands of students search online for affordable essay help. You've probably seen the ads: cheap essay writing service, affordable essay help, or fast essays from $20. They all promise the same thing: a completed essay, delivered on time, no stress. But an investigator set out to answer a question most students never ask. What really happens when you go for the cheapest option? Do you save money, or does it actually cost you more in the long run? What they found was more than a price difference. It was a gap in quality, reliability, and transparency so wide that it often determines whether a student passes or fails. The investigation began with a simple premise. If two services claim to offer the same product, a completed essay, why would one cost $30 and the other $200? Every company faces similar operating costs: websites, advertising, staff. That means if the total price is tiny, there's only one place they can cut corners: the writer. And that's exactly what happens. The first red flag the investigator found was writer qualification. Many low-cost platforms operate on a global scale, hiring anyone willing to take orders at a few dollars per page. That means essays are often written by people with no degree in the subject and sometimes not even fluent in English. The result? Sentences that don't read naturally, arguments that drift off topic, and references that don't exist. One student interviewed summed it up simply: the essay was in English, but it didn't sound human. This isn't rare. Across student forums, there are hundreds of similar accounts. People order an essay for $30 or $40, only to receive something that looks like it was run through a bad translation tool. The grammar might technically work, but the content misses the question entirely. And that's only the start. The second problem uncovered was recycled content. Cheap providers often rely on templates, pre-written essays that are slightly adjusted for new customers. Some are even AI-generated. Paragraphs are padded with what students describe as waffle, filler text that sounds academic but says nothing. One Reddit user gave a detailed story. They bought a law essay from a service calling itself Essay Service. The result was entirely AI-generated, incoherent, and unusable. They then tried a company called UKU Writings, expecting something better, but the essay had no connection to the UK at all. It was generic text about law, copied from unknown sources. Next, they went to Assignment Master. That one, they said, was literally a bunch of Wikipedia pages copied and pasted. By the end, they had wasted about $300. The user's conclusion was blunt: I wish I'd just gone to UK Essays in the first place. That kind of testimonial reflects the next hidden cost: plagiarism. When companies chase rock-bottom pricing, there's no budget left for plagiarism checks, originality reports, or editorial review. Essays are churned out quickly, copied from free databases, or machine-generated. And while students may not realize it at first, universities do. Institutions use advanced tools that detect similarities, including AI-generated text. Submitting that kind of work risks serious academic penalties, from failing the module to formal misconduct hearings. The investigator pointed out something often missed: thorough plagiarism scanning and AI detection cost time, software licenses, and trained staff. Cheap services skip all of it. Premium providers can't afford not to. But perhaps the most frustrating issue wasn't plagiarism. It was silence. Once the cheap essay was delivered, the customer support lines went dead. Revisions went unanswered. Refund requests disappeared into anonymous inboxes. Students ended up chasing responses for days, watching deadlines pass. In the end, most gave up and ordered somewhere else. The investigation summarized it clearly: cheap essay services don't just risk bad grades, they waste your time and money. Most users ended up paying twice: once for the original essay, and again for someone competent to redo it. So if cheap is a false economy, what does premium actually buy? That's where the comparison shifted to professional grade providers. The investigator examined how higher-priced services justify their rates, focusing on UK essays as an example of the premium end of the market. The findings were revealing. Every UK essays writer must hold at least a 2-1 degree, and many have postgraduate or master's qualifications. Orders are matched with writers who specialize in the same field, meaning a law essay goes to a law graduate, not a generalist. Crucially, the company guarantees that your writer's qualification matches or exceeds the grade you order. So if you request a master's level essay, it's written by someone with a master's degree or higher. This difference in expertise directly affects quality. Premium essays are written in fluent English with logical structure, academic referencing, and accurate research. It's not just the content, it's the understanding of how academic writing is supposed to sound. Then there's the process itself. At UK Essays, every order goes through multiple checks. The writer submits a draft. An editor proofreads it for grammar and structure. Another team runs plagiarism and AI detection scans against online sources and a private database of previous work. Finally, a quality control editor reviews everything before the essay is released to the client. That kind of layered review is why premium providers charge more. It costs time, labor, and expertise. But it also saves students from the financial and academic damage that comes with poor quality. Clients also have an amendment window, a set period after delivery to request changes. That alone solves one of the biggest problems students faced with budget sites, where revision requests were ignored. The investigator didn't just take their word for it. They tested the support firsthand. On a weekday morning, they phoned the customer line. The call was answered immediately by a British staff member who clearly explained how writers were matched and how quality checks were done. That experience, real people, clear answers, and no evasive tactics, was exactly what cheap providers lacked. Transparency became a major theme. Cheap companies hide their operations behind generic websites, fake names, or offshore addresses. Premium companies put their support front and center, list qualifications, and explain their processes. The article concluded that transparency itself is one of the strongest signs of legitimacy. Beyond the technical differences, the investigator also looked at long-term academic impact. Poor essays don't just lose marks, they set students back psychologically. Failing once leads to stress, doubt, and less confidence in future work. A good essay, by contrast, can act as a model, a clear example of how to structure arguments, cite sources, and meet academic expectations. In that sense, a premium essay isn't just a deliverable, it's a learning tool. A powerful case study illustrated this. A student purchased a £30 overnight essay from a bargain provider. It arrived on time, but when they ran a check, it was copied word for word from a public blog. The student had to reorder from UK Essays. This time, they received an original, well-structured essay that explained exactly where the first one went wrong. The result? They passed the module and learned how to approach essays correctly in the future. The extra cost saved their grade and possibly their degree. The investigator also tackled common objections. The first, "I can't afford premium services." The response was practical. Quality costs money, but failure costs more. Paying twice, or worse, facing academic penalties, is far more expensive than paying once for something reliable. There are also middle ground options. UK Essays offers essay plans and outlines, partial services where a qualified writer provides structure and guidance, allowing students to write the final piece themselves. It's a way to access professional insight without the full essay price tag. The second objection: aren't all essay services the same? The investigation made clear they're not. Just as you wouldn't trust a £10 mechanic with your car, expecting a £10 essay to meet academic standards is unrealistic. The difference in what you get, from writer expertise to support quality, is enormous. Finally, the ethical concern. Isn't using essay services risky? The investigator agreed that any academic service should be used responsibly. The problem isn't the existence of essay help, it's the abuse of it. Premium providers stress that their essays are models for study, not submissions. They include disclaimers encouraging responsible use. The risk lies with disreputable sites that promote shortcuts and deliver plagiarized work. In the end, the article came back to a timeless truth. You get what you pay for. The illusion of saving money often hides far bigger losses. Cheap essay writing services promise convenience but deliver poor quality, plagiarism, and frustration. Premium services charge more upfront but provide expertise, quality control, and accountability. One protects your academic integrity, the other puts it at risk. The investigator's final verdict was simple. UK essays might not be the cheapest, but it's among the most transparent and academically credible. And in the long run, it's reliability, not price, that saves students money, grades, and peace of mind. The report closed on a single question worth remembering. When your degree, your time, and your reputation are on the line, what's really cheaper, the lowest bid, or the one that actually delivers what it promises? Thanks for watching the Review Network, your independent source for evidence-based investigations into the services students depend on. Subscribe for more deep dive reports into education, technology, and online platforms that claim to make life easier, but don't always deliver.